finger in the sky. I've got one for you in just a minute, baby doll. Hold your finger in the sky like this. Put your finger on your nose. Not in your nose, bud. This is weird. You in the back. Come up here. Yes, sir. Me and him made buddies earlier. Give him a round of applause when he comes up here. I've got 3 goals for my show. My show's going to be about 30 minutes, okay? And I'm going to fly through this because my show's really about 45 and I've got short time. What's your name? All right. Everybody say hi, Justin. Hi, Justin. Goal number 1 is that I'm not going to fall through the stage. Goal number 2 is I'm going to make you laugh. We check that one off. We've already done that. I'm not going to make you laugh anymore. Goal number 3, I'm going to make you smile. Okay, Justin, we're going to do a card trick. Justin, do you know what card that is? What is it? Say it loud.
8 of diamonds.
Justin, are they all different?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a deck of cards, 52 cards. That's the 8 of diamonds. He's not going to pick the 8 of diamonds because I've yet to learn tricks with the 8 of diamonds, okay? I'm going to give him a mix. Justin, you say stop.
Stop.
This is your card, Justin. Look at it, show the crowd. If it's not the 8 of diamonds, we'll do a magic trick. Look at it. So it's not building bridges, just look at the card. Made you laugh again, check mark. All right, Justin, look at the card, show the crowd. As long as it's not the 8 of diamonds, we start the show. But what if it is? I kick you off the stage and we start over. Just wait. Justin, I take the card like this. I put it on top. I give it a mix. Justin, you say stop. Okay, that's the card. Look at it. As long as it's not the 8 of diamonds. Justin, why are they laughing? Some shows go better than others. Justin, write your name real big. Show the crowd your card. Apparently Justin's going to be a doctor when he gets older. Show them your card. Repeat after me, Justin. Say, my name's Justin.
My name is Justin.
This is my 8 of diamonds.
This is my 8 of diamonds.
I will not.
I will not.
Never ever.
Never ever.
Pick it again.
Pick it again.
How do we know it's Justin's card?
His name on it.
Thank you. Okay, I'm only as good as you guys, so if you don't play along, this is going to suck. All right, Justin's 8 of diamonds. I take his 8 of diamonds like this. I turn it over. I put it in my pocket. Why do I put it in my pocket? So you can't pick it ever again. Nothing in my hand. Justin, we give him a mix. Justin, you say stop. That's your card. Look at your card. If you want to, you can write your name on it. Show the crowd. I'll keep yours in my pocket. Justin, the way the trick works, you're how old? 8th grade. Okay. The way it works, I take your card, I put it on top. I mix it in the middle. Where's your card? Where is it?
Oh, I don't know.
In the middle. I snap. It does a backflip down my abs. I don't have abs. In my pocket. Look, there's nothing in my hand. I reach in my pocket, there's a card. Justin, how do I know it's your card? It's the 8 of diamonds, and what does it say on the front?
My name.
Your name, is that your name?
Yeah.
Okay, the way that it actually gets there, okay? I take it like this, I palm it off, just slide it in my pocket. Don't matter if there's 500 of them. They can't see as long as I talk. Justin, your card in the middle, push it in the middle. Good, I snap. Where's your card? Very good. Over here, nothing in my hand. There's a card in my pocket. How do we know it's Justin's card? It has his name on it. Justin, show them that that's the 8 of diamonds that has your name on it, please. Show them. Yeah. I'll go one more time. I'll go slower for the adults. I take it like this. I put it in the middle. Where's your card? In the middle. If I snap, where's your card now? Boom. Take your time. Just hurry, Justin. It is on top. It's the only card here, Justin. All the other cards, they're over here in my pocket. Look, nothing in my hand. I reach in my pocket. There's a deck of cards. Let me give Justin a round of applause. Let me get 3 claps. Some of you guys are eating. Don't drop your fork and stab somebody. I need to have seniors. Seniors, raise your hand. No seniors? Seniors are scared. You're a senior. What's your name?
Allie.
Allie, come here, please. Can we give Allie a round of applause? Let's make sure. Everybody say hi, Allie.
Hi, Allie.
Allie, we're going to play a game, okay? Face down. Put both hands out straight, please. Okay, Allie, I'm going to give you 2 cups. Take that cup. Take that cup. Don't move. Come on. This stage is underpaid. All right, here we go. I'm going to give Allie some water, and then I'm going to have some water. And again, the trick is called do as I do. Follow the leader. She's going to do everything I do. Allie, you have 2 cups. I have 2 cups. Both hands up straight. We're going to start now. The first move is wiggle, wiggle. Allie, take your right hand cup. Left hand cup. Right hand cup. Take that cup. Okay. Can you believe I get paid for this? Like this? We do it till they quit laughing. Allie, take your right hand cup. Throw it over your shoulder. Good. Say, yes. No, much higher. Yes. Thank you. Allie, take one step up. I'm going to take one step back. Allie, look straight. Here in a minute, Allie and I are going to make our water disappear. It's going to be magic. Allie, don't move. Just keep looking straight. Allie, back up. Allie, don't cry. Back up a little more. That's my grandmother's bell. You just take it over the cup, ring it, the water disappears. Go for it, yeah. No, like this. Look, go this way. You go.
Okay.
Go for it. Where you from? They don't have bells in Beckman? Bring it there. It's so weird. Here, let me see. Take it like this. Go for it. Yes! Give her a round of applause. Allie, right? On count three, Allie. We both have a cup in our left hand. Cup has water in it. On the count three, 1, 2, 3, move your cup above your head. Who says that? Shh. Above your head. Okay, I'm going to go first. Okay? No, above your head. Don't move. I'm going to count to 3. I'm going to turn the cup over real slow. The water's going to disappear. The crowd's going to go, ooh. Don't move. But, shh. Yeah, it gets better. Allie, I go 1, 2, 3, watch. Crowd goes, ooh. Allie, it's your turn, okay? I'm going to stand over here, Allie. Allie, with the cup way above your head, you go home after this. Okay. Okay, on the count 3, Allie. 1, 2, 3, turn the cup over real slow. Allie, hold the cup above your head. I'm going to try again. On the count 3, turn the cup over real slow. Okay, Allie, we got to work on this. Right here. There's nothing there. Give Allie a round of applause. Cool. All right, let me get 2 claps. Let me get 3 claps. Okay, I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself, and I got to go quick because I only have 30 minutes up here, and I think we're running behind time. I told you my name's Joey Stepp. You guys that have social media, you can find me on the internet, on the interweb, if you will. Just search Joey Stepp Magic. I'll come up on everything. Currently, sorry, our new project. I've got 2 little girls. I'm a single dad. I got a 10-year-old. I got an 8-year-old. My 10-year-old's going to win the Nobel Peace Prize. My 8-year-old's going to be incarcerated. Okay, it's just the way it is. Parents, you get it. They're different. Okay. No, love my girls to death. They inspire me every day. I'm sunburnt today because I've been at the ball field since 8 o'clock this morning cheering on my 10-year-old. If I can give you guys, one, I'm going to do this. If I can give you parenting advice, and you don't need parenting advice because you drove hours to get here with your kids. Kids, give your parents a round of applause. Okay, and that's just not parents, it's guardians, it's aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, our support system. Okay, I work at Hurricane Middle School. We're the 2nd largest middle school in the state. We have 980 kids. I'm in charge of the 6th grade. Those of you that have middle school kids, teach them to be independent. Okay. Sorry, kind of being inappropriate. I got hired to speak to parents in Logan County, and I actually said a bad word. I said you need to cut the bleeping cord. Okay, and what I mean by that, teach them to be independent. Teach them to do things on their own. Teach them to problem solve. Okay, I'm wearing a rope around my neck because I lost my chain or he stole it. I don't know which one. But teach them to be independent. Okay, independent thinkers. A little bit about myself. I said, at 14 years old, I started living by myself. And when I say living by myself, I had a checking account, I paid bills. I didn't work because my dad said as long as I did good in school and football, I never had to have a job while I was a kid. He gave me a check every month. Every month I paid the electric bill, I paid the cable bill, I paid the phone line, the landline. And am I happy with the way I grew up? No. Okay, goal number 4 is not to cry on stage. Am I happy with the way I grew up? No, I'm not. But I'm an independent thinker and I'm always going to be okay. No matter how much adversity, I need a kid to raise your hand and tell me what the word adversity means. Allie, what is it? Problems. I played under Coach Bob Pruitt. Bob Pruitt told us every game that adversity is going to strike. Okay, every game adversity is going to strike. Every day in our life, adversity is going to strike. My adversity today was I lost my necklace. Okay, every day. I did super well going through college. I made a bunch of money. I got into bar business and this kind of stuff, and it all came crashing down. I ended up broke. When I moved out from my wife's house, I had to trade magic shows for first month's rent, first month's security deposit. That's how broke I was. But what a blessing that I had a skill that I could trade for the first month's rent for me and my kids. Okay, it's going to happen. No matter how easy your life gets, it's going to happen, and be ready. And be independent thinkers. Does that make sense? Kids, nod your head. I got 2 rabbits. I need your help. What color rabbit is this? Very good. It's white. What color rabbit is this? Black. I have a black one, I have a white one. The trick is I can make them switch places. All I do is snap. I want you guys, you 3, together figure this out. What color? Black. If I snap, it changes to white. See, it's white. Because I snapped. You know how it works? No? Somebody help them. Hold on. Say it. Oh, they're two-sided. One side. You're close. You're wrong. You're close. I'm not moving because the stage is squeaking real bad. What color?
White.
If I spin it without snapping, it will not change. It stays white because it's audio. See, it's still white. But if I snap, it now changes black. See that? That's cool. What's your name, sir?
Mark.
Mark? And what's your name?
Brady.
Braden?
Brady.
Brady. What color?
Black.
I'll show you how it changes. You think I just spin it and it changes colors. It will not. It stays black. But if I spin it and I snap, nothing happens that time. It stays black too, right? Watch. Take the houses off like this. You think if I spin it, it changes colors? Braden? Nothing happens. See that? The other way? I can do the other way all day. No? She said in a circle, like this right here. Braden, make your way up here. Come on, everybody give Braden a round of applause. Braden, stand right there in front of the stage. Turn around. Big kid. Put your hands like that, like this. All right, everybody say hi, Braden.
Hi, Brady.
All right, guys, Braden, you're not allowed to talk the rest of the time. Do you understand? Good. This side's black. Braden thinks the other side is what color?
White.
Braden, hold that. This side's white. Braden thinks. This side's white. Braden thinks the other side's what color?
Black.
Braden, hold that. I learned that 10 years of college. Can you believe that? Show 'em. Give Braden a round of applause. Cool. I forgot her name. Young lady, will you come up here? I wish that I remembered her name. Tell me. Bailey? Can you stand on that without falling? Don't fall. My insurance is paid up, but I don't know if they'll cover that. All right, Bailey.
She was on the Gorge Bridge.
Bailey, have you ever heard of the word origami? Probably not. Origami, what's origami? Somebody. Yes, sir. When you fold paper, right? You fold paper and make things. I'm going to take it one more time like this. This is going to be cool. Check this out, Bailey. Uh-oh. You know what that is, Bailey? That's your hat. Very good. Give Bailey a round of applause. All right, I need two people. Now they all want to come here. I want a hat. That's cool. Young lady that's eating this pork. Young man with the glasses, you two come up here. Give him a round of applause while they make their way up here. What's your name? Hunter? Everybody say hi, Hunter.
Hi, Hunter.
Everybody say hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Now, just so you guys know who I am, my memory skills are gone. I played football for Marshall for 5 years. I got a bunch of concussions. That whole say hi to everybody's me trying to remember the name. This is Megan, and this is Steve. Thank you. I love her. All right, Hunter, here we go. I got a deck of cards. They're invisible cards. Have you ever had an invisible deck of cards? Good. Take them. And Hunter, when you shuffle an invisible deck of cards, you take it like this and you go like that. Go for it. Try again. Think of the ace. Are you thinking of an ace? That's not good. Okay. Start going. Megan, take your card, turn it upside down. Put it in the deck. And again, just because there's kids in the room, and I want them to know who I am. I get this next week. I'm sorry. Next week I'll hold the heck. Don't drop them. Okay. Next week I'm doing a corporate gig at Glade Springs. Next month I have 2 shows at the Greenbrier. Okay. Last year I was at the Greenbrier for 400 insurance people, and I brought the man, whoever the man was. I said, "Who's the man in here?" And they told me. And we had a senator in the room too. And when he went like this, he did the same deal. Because you get nervous. You get nervous, right? Sure. You don't get nervous? We'll do it again. Yeah, there it is. All right, here we go. I take the cards like this, okay? I got a deck of cards, put them in my pocket. Ta-da, I have a real deck of cards. That wasn't a magic trick, I just had a deck of cards in my pocket. Megan, before I walked in, and before that guy stole my necklace, I took it, just play it. I took a deck of cards, I took one card out, I flipped it upside down, and I put it back in the deck. What was your card? Tell us all. The 2 hearts. You really want the 2 hearts? It's up to you. Yeah. Strike 2. Take the cards like this. I open them up. I'll show you that all of them are face up. Okay. I go through. All of them are face up. One's going to be face down. Like this right here. Check this out. Right here on top. See the face down card? I don't know if you guys can see that. There's one face down card. All the other ones are face up. Do you agree? Take that card. You see this 2 hearts? Show them this 2 hearts. 2 hearts. Give these 2 a round of applause. How many of us in the room like math? Surely all of you. I think most of you want to be engineers. Let's try this. I need someone from that table with the, you in the red shirt, you don't have to come up here. You don't have to come up here. What's your name? Drew. Drew, pick a number between, let's go between, everybody goes 1 and 10. Let's go 2 and 9. What is it? 7. I need someone from my man with the little girl, with the sister. I forgot your name.
Garrett.
Garrett, pick a number between 3 and 9 again. 2 and 9. 5. 5, 7 makes 57. You guys agree with that? Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to do some math problems. Our number was 57. Check this out. Okay. Anybody played the game Sudoku? He said yes. What's your name, young man? Maximus? I wish my parents named me Maximus. They just named me Joey. And they call me Little Joey. Maximus, can you count to 30 for me? Okay, I'm going to say go. You're going to count to 30. When you count at the end of 30, I'm going to take this 4x4 grid. I'm going to do something with it. Okay, I'm going to do something with numbers. And the reason I'm going to tell you, and again, I'm talking way too much. I'm trying to rush through this. The reason I learned this trick is when I told you guys I played football at Marshall. It's the biggest blessing in the world. Without football, I would have never got a college education. Without football, I'd have never got a master's degree. I now have a master's degree in school counseling. I only had to pay for 2 semesters of that whole stuff. Okay, I walked on the team, got a scholarship because I was hungry and I wanted it. Okay, I'm going to end that. You got to be hungry in your life, kids. You got to put blinders on, cancel out all the distractions. Facebook, that's a distraction. Boyfriends and girlfriends, that's a distraction. Okay, block it all out and just be so obsessed with your goals until you get them. And then go further. Maximus, I'm going to say go. You're going to count to 30. You ready? Use the number 57. Maximus, go. Hold on, Maximus. You got to be excited. Okay, put on a show. Be excited. Go.
1, 2.
Calm down, Maximus. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You count really fast, Maximus.
16, 17, 18, 19.
What if I missed this
20,
up?
21, 22.
Maximus.
23,
Maximus, talk to me, please. Slow down.
24,
Thank you.
25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Stop. 4x4 grid. Okay? I was a math major when I got to Marshall University. I didn't graduate with a math degree. Okay? The powers that be, and I wasn't a very good student because I was distracted. And there was all kinds of things distracting me. I wasn't a good student. The fact that I didn't graduate with a math degree has caused me so much problems. I'm in the school system now with a master's degree. They want me to become a principal, but because I'm not a certified teacher, I've got to go all the way back and start over. When all these other teachers can just take an 18-hour online course and make $25,000 more than me. My blessing is that I do magic. Here we go. You guys do math? Yeah, pull your calculator out. Make sure I do this right. 4x4 grid, using the number 57. It's supposed to be a 57. Check it out. 30 plus 13 is what? 43? 43 plus 11? 54. 54 plus 6 is what? 57. Okay, I can go any line crossways. 27 plus 7, let's go this way. 27 plus 10 would be 37. Plus 7 is 44. Plus, that's not right. Help me out. 27 plus 7.
34.
34 plus 10, 44. Plus 16, 57. Right, sir? Just say yes. Okay? We go up and down like this. 30 plus 7 is 37. Let's go this way, it'll be easier. 14 and 7 is 21. 21 and 30. 51, 51 and... Hold on, we did it wrong. 21. Let's start line. I may have made a mistake. Moving on. Let's do you. Come here. Now I'm going to be hounded by that trick for the rest of the day. What's your name, baby? Lexi, stand over there. Hey, let's say hi, Lexi.
Hello, Lexi.
Hey, guys, we got a couple more tricks for you guys, and I'm going to turn it over to everybody else. Lexi, you win the grand prize. A $100 bill. Congratulations. Oh, a $1 bill. I have kids, Lexi. I can't do that. All right, here we go. Lexi, take your dollar. Write your name real big. Oh. It's supposed to be a 6. See, so I have a cheat sheet. On the math grid. Anyway. Lexi, hold up your dollar. Repeat after me. Say, my name's Lexi.
Lexi.
It's my $1 bill.
$1 bill.
How do we know it's Lexi's $1 bill?
Got her name on it.
Very good. You guys are still waiting. Okay, we take your dollar like this, Lexi. We'll ball it up. Lexi, that's your cup. Make sure your cup's empty. Is it empty?
Yep.
Show them. Say, my name's Lexi.
My name's Lexi.
This is my empty cup.
Empty cup.
Put your empty cup on top of the dollar. Lexi, the people in the back can't see, so you got to be their eyes. Put your finger on top of the cup. Watch. If I snap, the dollar's gone. If I snap again, it comes back. Lift your finger, lift the cup. Wow. See? Made up for that last one. Lexi, hold both hands together. Up here real high. Yes, ma'am. Lexi, I'm going to take your dollar and put it in the cup. Where's your dollar?
In the cup.
I'm going to pour it out of the cup. Where's it at now? Say it loud.
In your hand.
Okay, I put the cup on your hand. I have a dollar in my hand. Watch. Where's it at now?
My hand.
In your hand. Very good. I do it like this, Lexi. I put it in. I'll do it one more time. I'll pour it out. Look, put your finger on top. Move your finger. I'll move the cup, get your dollar. Okay, we'll go one more time. It's your turn. You hold this, I'll hold the marker. Squeeze. Squeeze. Squeeze, I said. Throw. Lift the cup. A line. Sorry Put that over the line. Guess what's inside the line?
The dog.
Would that be good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably get hired to do shows at Marshall if I did that. Why not? Take it like this. Cut it open. Like, see inside the lime. You see that? What is that? Tell him.
Dollar.
Pull it out. How do we do it, Sheriff?
My name's on it.
Open it up.
Yep.
Show them. Lexi, show them your dollar. Repeat after me. Say, my name's Lexi.
My name's Lexi.
This is my dollar
My dollar.
with lime juice.
With my juice.
Give Lexi a round of applause. Hey guys, I'm done. Again, kids, give your parents and guardians a round of applause. Parents, give your kids a round of applause. It's no secret that you have good kids because they got here, okay? But I need all the kids to look at me, regardless if you're just watching the show or not. Guys, again, no matter how, let's do this. If you, kids, students, middle school, high school students, if you can tie your shoes, raise your hand, and no laughing. Okay? No laughing, I said. I knew you'd laugh, that's what I said. All right, put your hands down. Braden, right? How old are you? 17. How old do you think you were when you learned how to tie your shoes? Most people are 5.
Yeah, 5.
17 minus 5 is 15 years. So you've been tying your shoes for 15 years. Think about it. For 15 years, almost every single day you've tied not one shoe, but 2 shoes. You're a professional shoe tire. Okay? How did you get there? Someone showed you, and you practiced. As 5 years old, I've got kids. At 5 years old, you get obsessed with it until you can do it. Whatever you want to be in life, buddy, get obsessed with it and tie your shoes. Do it over and over and over. Okay? I'm 36 years old. If I decide I want to be a doctor, if I want it bad enough, I want to be a doctor. No one can tell me no, because I know if I do it over and over and over and over, maybe when I'm 90 I'll get there, but I'll get there. Okay? You tie your shoes. LeBron James, anybody heard of LeBron James?
Yes.
Okay? How about Chad Pennington? Anybody heard of Chad Pennington?
No.
Okay, I played ball with Chad Pennington. He was at practice before anybody else, and he left after everybody else. He tied his shoes. Okay, and again, not to get too personal, but maybe not to kids, but to parents. Have you ever heard of John Elway? I had dinner with John Elway twice, okay, and I'm not bragging. I'd love to show you a picture, but it's like back when the dinosaurs were alive, they didn't have smartphones. So I don't have a picture with John Elway. I was this close to my dream. My dream was playing NFL. I was that kid. I was chasing my dream. I was this close. There were days that I didn't tie my shoes. There were days that I chose, and again, in your world, I didn't have Facebook back then, but in your world, I spent 4 hours on Facebook instead of going out and running. I spent 4 hours on Instagram instead of going to the gym. Okay? Back when I was around, we just text messaged because that was the new thing. I'm that old. But anyway, give these kids a round of applause. You guys have a great afternoon. Thank you.
This bar would be the best part of your job.
As far as I know, it was something like that.
One, some volunteers are coming around. Can you all hear me okay? Okay. I'm getting a little feedback up here so I can't tell. Volunteers are passing out surveys. Students, if you will take the green paper, your survey is green. Parents, guardians, guests, your paper is white. So we care what you think. We want you to have a good time here. We want you to enjoy the contest. It is about fun, competitive fun, right? Everybody likes to know how they ranked and how they did in the end, but it's all about learning and fun. And you guys were amazing today. You had a lot of fun, I could tell, but you were competitive. Very, very competitive edges. I really like it. And some of your competitiveness comes out in your names. So you guys did an excellent job. Let's give everyone in the room a round of applause. Great job, guys. So we do want to say thank you to our sponsors. If we're going to actually recognize our whole committee in a few minutes, so I'm not going to ask anyone to stand, but the West Virginia Department of Transportation, Department of Highways, Marshall University site, the MAX program, as well as Bridge Walk. How many people went on the Bridge Walk tour? Was that fun?
Yes.
Yeah, you had a good time? Okay, is Benji here? Benji? Okay. Benji must not have been able to stay with us this evening. Benji heads up Bridge Walk. So if you've never been on the Bridge Walk tour, I am told it is I have not been, and I have committed to go next year. My little people would love it. But it is an amazing tour. Everyone who comes back says, I'll do it again. We actually have a teacher who emailed me, or maybe she posted on our Facebook page, that she'd been 4 times. So remember, we do have a Facebook page. We're going to start sending out pictures from today's event. You're going to see there. You're welcome to comment there. Please work on filling out your surveys. We're going to collect them at the end of the night. We utilized your surveys from last year to rearrange and build some things and change some things for this year. Did you guys see some differences from last year to this year? Yeah? They work out well? Okay. Let us know on your survey. We're going to try and keep the tasks or the speakers moving this afternoon. So if you hear us going a little quick, it's just because we don't want you to spend the rest of your evening here, even though we have so enjoyed your company today. So with that being said, I am going to ask that Dr. Nichols join us on stage for our next introduction.
So, it's been a long day. Hopefully we can end it with a bang. I know there's some of you that are very excited to hear the results, but before then we have some important words that we want to hear. So our first speaker that we want to have is Dean Weil-Zatar. So one of the major sponsors is the College of Information Technology and Engineering, which houses majors related to engineering. So Dr. Zatar has been the dean for 6 years. Prior to him starting as the dean, we had initially civil engineering. So you guys are all here to design bridges. That's what civil engineers do. So we've had that degree. Under his guidance, we've since then added mechanical engineering as well as electrical and computer engineering. So we have 3 engineering-related degrees in our college now. And so he oversees those as well as our degrees in computer science and safety technology at the undergraduate level. So Dr. Zatar does happen to be a structural engineer, and so structural engineers design bridges. So he is very familiar with what you've been doing today in terms of designing and building. Have you ever built a bridge out of balsa wood? He has. So you can maybe pull him aside afterward and get some tips for next year on how to build your balsa wood bridges. But if Dr. Zatar, if you could come forward and share your words with us.
Good afternoon, everybody. My experience with bridging that bridge was not very good. The first one, I can tell you, but I learned from that experience. My job today is having 2 roles. The first one is to speak on behalf of Marshall University President Jerome Gilbert. Dr. Gilbert is not able to make it today to our event, and he asked me to convey this message. He's saying, on behalf of Marshall University, it is truly my pleasure to welcome all of you to our beautiful campus. I thank everyone who had a role in putting today's event together. West Virginia Transportation Secretary Smith and Mr. Jimmy Preston with the Department of Highways and their teams, Marshall's faculty and staff, the Mid-Atlantic Transportation Sustainability Center, Bridge Walk, and West Virginia American Society for Civil Engineers. I apologize that I cannot join you this evening because of a previously scheduled event, but please know that I am with you in spirit. To the parents, thank you for encouraging your students to be lifelong learners. Your engagement and support are so critical to these students' success. And to the students, I hope that you learned a lot today and had fun participating in this competition. And I also hope that you have enjoyed your time here at Marshall University. Engineering is my trade, and we need more builders in this nation. Indeed, all of you have a bright future, and please continue to lead the way in development and innovation. Marshall University is home for people who think about forward thinking. So I encourage you to visit us again and keep us in mind as you graduate from high school and want to further your education. Marshall University has a place for you, and we would like to have the pleasure of being a part of your success. We would like to see you a member of the Thundering Herd. Again, thank you so much, and please enjoy this award ceremony. The second rule that I have today, and I hope that I will not be taking very long time of your very precious time, is to speak on behalf of the College of Information Technology and Engineering. So as Dean of the College of Information Technology and Engineering at Marshall University, and on behalf of the very dedicated faculty and staff of the college, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the bridge contest. Students, parents, and volunteers, thank you for joining us this event, and we hope that we will see many of you pursuing engineering as your career in the future. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize Secretary Smith, and I also would like to thank Mr. Jimmy Riston from the West Virginia DOT, who have been participating in this event for so many years. A good friend, Jimmy Riston, has been working very hard in the past many years trying to make sure that we are organizing this event, and working together with Marshall University, we have had many success stories. And of course, today's event is just one of the many ones that we have, but we are very proud of it. The success of this competition is really fabulous, and Marshall University is very fortunate to be a participant in this competition. Speaking about the college, our programs in the college have been an immense success. From the short time between 2008 and 2016, we doubled the number of students in our college, and we grew the engineering enrollment by an amazing 210%. The mission of the college is to provide hands-on and advanced learning experiences to our students to educate the next generation of students on ways by which they can make this world a better world. I have the honor and privilege to working with the most dedicated faculty and staff in the college. They provide tremendous and personalized support to all our college students, and the education and experience that the students receive in the college will continue to benefit the community and region by producing top-notch graduates who will meet all the needs for the employers. Dr. Nichols asked me to speak very briefly about the programs that we have in the college. Right now we have 5 undergraduate programs, 3 in the area of engineering at this point. One is focusing on civil engineering, the other one is mechanical engineering, and the third one is electrical and computer engineering. We are in the process of adding a biomedical engineering program, which will start this year, and next year we plan on adding another program that will be in an area that focus on the relationship between engineering and computer science, which is cybersecurity. The Division of Computer Science in the college houses one undergraduate program at the undergraduate level, which is the computer science, and 2 graduate programs, information systems, as well as computer science. And we'll also be adding a computer science focused graduate program, which is gonna focus on cybersecurity again. The third division that we have in the college is Applied Science and Technology Division, which houses safety technology programs at the undergraduate and graduate level, technology management programs, and environmental science programs. Speaking about the graduate programs in the college, focusing on engineering, we have engineering management, we have environmental engineering, we have transportation and infrastructure, in addition to electrical and computer engineering, as well as mechanical engineering. I would like to thank everyone one more time, anybody who has participated in the success of this event. We are truly very appreciative of your participation in this event. Thank you again, the sponsors, the teachers, the students, the volunteers, parents, everybody who has participated in this event. Please enjoy the rest of this award ceremony. Thank you very much.
speaker is going to be quite a treat for you, I believe, because I had word that he was working pretty hard on this presentation. And he has an awful lot of enthusiasm for anything we barely mention, education, and his face lights up. So I think this is going to be quite a treat for you. You're going to be hearing next from our West Virginia Division of Transportation, our new secretary. He's also the Commissioner of Highways. As Secretary of Department of Transportation, he is over 8 agencies, and not just highways, but state rail and DMV, and it's highways, everything we do. West Virginia Division of Highways is responsible for maintaining and improving miles and miles and miles of roads and about 7,000 bridges in the state of West Virginia. When you go out and you see the workers doing routine work, or when there's emergencies, mudslides, floods, we have to call people from other districts to come and help one where there's been a major disaster, major big problems. Highways does all that, but we also have attorneys, we have right-of-way agents, human resources, communications, and all of those people are inspired by Tom and pleased to be working with Tom. We were shaking when we found out that Paul Maddox was excellent. He was our previous secretary and commissioner, and we were like, oh no, when we found out that he was going to go ahead and move on to other things. And Governor Jim Justice talked to Tom and found us somebody who, is really inspiring to us, and we think you're really going to enjoy this. West Virginia Division of Highways has been involved in this contest for 16 years now. It was previously in conjunction with a national contest, and many West Virginia students returned to the national contest several times. We actually have one, and Annika, I'd like you to stand up if you will. Give this young man a round of applause. This young man actually went to the national contest and won it 2 years in a row against students from all types of schools, big private schools, everything, all across the country. They actually made a rule after his second win that if you won a previous national contest, you couldn't come back. And we call that the West Virginia rule. Because West Virginia is the only one who's ever done that. We're the only one who's ever been a 2-time national champion. The national contest, this is the first year that they are not having it. And we, at the Division of Highways, and our partners at RTI, and all of the engineering colleges, and Bridgewalk, we all just banded together and said, yeah, we're going to keep going for our students, because our students, we've seen year after year, put passion and dedication into this contest. We've seen students, and we've seen whole families get into it. We've seen students show the same kind of dedication, and like, they show up for an academic subject, and it's like for a sport. It's like that. Just everybody pulling together, everybody working together, and it's really amazing. So all of our partners, we get together and we say, yeah, we're going to keep doing this contest for our West Virginia students, because our students work hard, and we want to work hard for them. West Virginia Division of Highways, you're aware that we have a network of highways and bridges all across the state, but what you might not have thought of, we also have a network of people. We run on partnerships with the contractors that we work with, that you see on the ground, doing some of our projects and putting things on the ground. Also, though, with our colleges here at Marshall, WVU, WVU Tech, Fairmont, and Bluefield. We've gone out and Jimmy has gone out and trained students at those colleges to go to high schools and to go to middle schools, and some of them were your volunteers from some of those colleges. We also send out our engineers into the classroom, and it's been, it's very hard to find teachers who will open up even just one class period and say, come to us and show us this. But it's all a big partnership. It's all working together, and that's what makes things happen like this, because our students, they rise to the occasion year after year, and they make this, it wouldn't go on. I mean, there would be no reason. Tom is a big believer in education, and we look forward to the next few years of the contest, having him on board and we want to let's give them a big welcome. I think you're going to like it.
Thank you, Jennifer. I know you all have had a long day today, so I'm going to be very brief. I only have two things I want to do. The first thing I want to do is to recognize the sponsors that we had there on the board, to thank them, and also to say congratulations to all of you who participated today, and congratulations to the winners that we'll be recognizing here in a few minutes. You all inspire me with the enthusiasm that you have here with what you do. It's fun for me to come and participate in these things. I've enjoyed doing things like this for years and years, and as I get to the end of my presentation, you'll see that with one of the slides that I have. And so I said I had two things to do. The first thing was to say thanks and congratulations. The second thing is to actually talk a little bit about transportation. We have a real shortage of engineers in the country. And I think by the fact that you're here, you're interested in engineering. I'm the Secretary of Transportation, so I'm going to be selfish and actually say to you that I'd like you to consider getting into transportation engineering. Now, there's all sorts of things that different engineers can do in transportation. Everything from computer science to structural engineers to transportation engineers to hydraulic engineers. But we really, really need you in transportation. And so what I hope you will do when you hear about some transportation trends that are going to affect everyone in the room over the next 20 or 30 years, that you'll think about these things, and maybe sometime 5 years from now when you're making some choices about going to college and what you're going to major in, you'll think about engineering, and you'll think about maybe I could do something in transportation engineering. So let's go ahead and roll through this. These are transportation trends that are coming soon that will affect, some of these are already here, but there's trends that will affect you in what you do and what your family's life is like. And so I'm going to spend a minute or so on each one of these, and we'll move through them pretty quickly. And then I'll end with, again, hoping to give a nice recruitment talk to you all to think about joining us in transportation. The first is to mention that there is something that is happening around our country, the development of mega regions. This is where big cities start smushing together and start acting like an independent thing, like a state unto themselves. So if you look here, and I'll pick this one right in here. This is down in the southern part. So you have Raleigh, Durham, Greensboro, Atlanta, probably Nashville, a number of these southern cities that are all just starting to flow into each other. And the reason that's important to all of us here is that 75% of the nation's population live in those 10 mega regions. And then 25% of the population in the country live in all the rest of it. And of course, guess where we're at? We're right here in the middle of this area, but only 25% of the population around the rest of the area. So the reason that is important is those big mega regions start pulling things toward them. They pull people toward them. They pull tax dollars toward them. And so what we have to do in the rural parts of the country, if we're in other parts, is be at the top of our game. We have to realize that we have a place there too, and transportation is a critical part of that. You have to realize what we offer out in those other areas away from those mega regions is food. People have to grow food and get it into the cities there. We offer like in West Virginia, we offer fuel. We have natural gas, and the natural gas has to find its way in for energy purposes. And then we have natural products, wood products, other types of natural products. So we certainly have our place, and transportation has to be a part of how you get those goods to those mega regions. But again, as a rural part of the country, we have to realize that we have to look out and take care of ourselves too. Second trend is the critical movement of freight. This map shows, it sort of looks like an arteries in your body, and the bigger the artery, the more traffic is flowing on it. Over the next 20 or 30 or 40 years, we're going to double the number of trucks on the road. All of us really like getting our stuff from different places, and so those trucks have to move, and increasingly people are not putting things in warehouses. They're moving things just-in-time delivery in trucks. And so if you look there, you'll see some of the really heavy areas, like that's I-81 through Virginia. Here we are in West Virginia with I-77, 64, 79. And what's important about this is that we have to make sure that we're staying on the top of our game here as well. We have to make sure that we're having a way to get our goods into the marketplace or to get stuff to us. And so what we do in transportation is we try to take care of those facilities. We try to make sure the interstates move well. But this is a nice example. Some of you may know that the Panama Canal down in South America, and between South America and North America, recently was made bigger. This is a ship that can come from China that holds 18,000 trailers on the back of that, 18,000 on one ship. And that can get through the Panama Canal now. Now it turns out that if you get those, you don't want all of those going onto the road, so you don't want all those being hauled by trucks. So what you can do now, as long as you make sure the tunnels and bridges can handle it, is what's called double stacked in rail cars. This is certainly not West Virginia, this is out west. But you can see here that these come off the boat onto the rail, double stacked, and then you take them to what are called intermodal centers. We have a brand new one of these in Pritchard, West Virginia, about 15 miles south of here. And so what we do by making sure that we have good access by boat, by rail, and then into this side, and then highways coming off of this, we have the ability to get goods to the marketplace and from the marketplace and actually get it to ourselves. So again, this is a part of what we do in transportation, and the critical thing to remember is you can no longer think of it just as trucks and cars. It's everything. It's boats, planes, trains, everything. This is a little map of Appalachia that just shows the way that these different facilities, these little dots are these intermodal centers through here. These are the ports along the outer part of the country. You have the interstate, you have rail, and you have waterways through here. So again, the point here is transportation is much more than vehicles, much more than motor vehicles. It's all of those other types of transportation as well. My third trend is to remark about the attraction of rural areas. That I mentioned those mega regions, which are the bigger cities where lots of folks are moving to those, but folks like to get back out into the country and enjoy the rural areas. So this is Quarter H in West Virginia. You can just see it's a beautiful highway, but there's a lot of folks from the different cities around the East Coast that find their way out here. And again, having good transportation makes it so those folks come and they enjoy staying in West Virginia. We enjoy hosting them. But what they can do is they can come here and spend money, and that makes our lives better and creates jobs. The fourth trend I would like to speak about is what I'll call a millennial's view of personal transportation. Now, millennials are people who are aged, I think, 15 to 35. So most of you in the room, I think, are going to be viewed as Generation Z, I think is the new term. Millennials, now there's about 75 million millennials. That's the biggest part of our population. That's a fourth of our population in the United States. And so the fact that millennials are such a big group, you have to look at the way that they view transportation. I'm 59 years old, and after retiring from the US DOT about a year and a half ago, I actually did a fun thing. My family and I got together and talked, and we kept our home. My wife stayed behind here in West Virginia, but I went over and lived and worked in downtown Washington, D.C. for about a year before I came back and took this new job. But what I found was that many people don't really care about having personal vehicles over there. They'd just as soon not have a car. They get around on their bicycles, they get around by Ubering, they get around on transit and on buses. And so I went over there for a whole year at my age and actually was challenged, but found that it was quite gratifying, and found that you can live a pretty good life in Washington, D.C. without a car. And you just have to realize that that is a trend, and many of you younger folks, you'll find that as you get older, you may not have as much interest as those of us in the room who, as soon as you got to be 16, you had to have your driver's license, and as soon as you could get your first car, you wanted to have it. But I can just tell you that that view is changing, and so if you look at all those other modes, then we have to think about how to build our towns and cities so that we can use those other modes and maybe not have as much reliance on vehicles, because we can't really build enough roads to take care of them. It's enough of a challenge to take care of what we have. This is my next trend, autonomous vehicles or self-driving cars. How many of you in the room have heard of these self-driving cars? Lots of folks. Well, this is something that's coming a lot faster than I ever would have thought it would have come. About 10 years ago, people talked about it, but I just would not have really thought that was something that would happen. But right now, this car, this is an Uber car in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In Pittsburgh, they're doing an experiment where these driverless cars, well, they're self-driving cars. They actually have a driver in the car that's not driving the car. They have to have that person there so they can take control of the vehicle. But the fact is the car is driving itself. The technology is not really the challenge. Technology's there. There's other things that are the challenge. Things like if somebody has a crash in one of these cars, how do the lawyers assign blame? That's something that's an issue. You have to be smart with the way you program these cars. So if you were in one of these self-driving cars and suddenly the car realizes there's a truck coming at me, I have to make a choice between hitting a tree and hitting a pedestrian, you actually have to program that into the car. We as drivers, when we are driving our vehicle, if you had to make that choice, you make a judgment, and maybe you make a good judgment or maybe you make a bad judgment. But if you have the car driving itself, the car has to make those judgments. So what you need to think about is that this really has lots of different applications with how this fits in with the roadway and what we engineers do, but it also has a lot to do with computer science and how you program those vehicles. If you look on the other side right here, you know, I talked about the movement of freight. It turns out that you can have these big tractor trailers driving along at 70 miles an hour just a few feet apart because the technology allows them to drive along at high speeds, very close together. So what that means is we can move more freight on the highways, but we have to make sure we're taking care of this sort of technology. This one's maybe a little boring, but it's important. My daughter, who is with me today, Caroline, is in mathematical economics, and so my son, who's with me, is an engineer. But both of those are important, and this next trend is what I'll call data-driven decision making. It might sound sort of strange to you, but in the past, a lot of times we made decisions just based on our judgments without really analyzing data. And in today's world, because we don't have enough money to do everything we need to do, we actually have to do a good job of going through and analyzing things. These two maps, and I'm not going to spend much time on it, but these two maps show that with the Appalachian Corridor system that is all throughout Appalachia, like Corridor G, Corridor H, that you actually have lots better traveler experiences, not as much traffic jams, the ability to move more quickly without delays. And if you look at the darker areas on the map, it's not a surprise, but that's where the corridor program is. And it turns out that those benefits are much greater there than in the other parts where you don't have those major roadways. This one's kind of interesting. This is where, based on freight information, people have an increase in the number of turnaround trips in one day. So to give you an example why this is important, this is if a company is looking to set up and ship stuff out of West Virginia or into West Virginia. These show the areas where you can actually have the best turnaround in a one-day type of operation. And again, those are close to the Appalachian Corridor system there, so it demonstrates that with the improved highways you have there, that you have this much better chance of getting people doing these one-way turnaround trips to those areas. So again, the important thing here is that you have data that you're looking at and really analyzing and doing a good job of making better decisions. Next to the last trend, focus on operations of the transportation system. I mentioned that we really don't have the money anymore to build all the roads that we'd like to. We know that we need to build roads in West Virginia and we'll continue to do that. But what we have to do is focus on the operation of our system. In West Virginia, we are blessed in one sense that we don't have very much congestion. And if you get into a congested part of the day, you can leave 15 minutes earlier or leave 15 minutes later and maybe avoid the congestion. But in the bigger cities and where traffic is growing, what we have to do is make sure we're squeezing as much traffic into those lanes as we can and moving them through. This is, I think, in the Washington, D.C. area. And what they've done here is they've made it so that if you want to use these express lanes, you can, but there's a toll for those, and that toll goes up to different amounts depending on the time of day. So if you're really in a rush and you wanted to get over here, you may pay $1.80, but then later in the day you may pay $2.70, $3.50. And what you do is you can control how much traffic uses what parts of the transportation system that way. But you can also squeeze as much out of the existing lanes as you can, and by spreading the traffic out during the day, you can actually get more out of the existing system than if you just try to build new lanes in there. And last trend, Unwillingness to provide predictable funding for infrastructure. This is a real challenge. It's a challenge all over the country right now. And what I'm going to show here, this is an electric vehicle. So an electric vehicle does not pay the same amount of gas tax as a regular gasoline-powered car. So we don't get as much money from that to take care of the roads. I'm not going to give you a lesson in economics, but your dollars today will buy more than they will three years from now, and buy less than they did 3 years ago. So over time, your money doesn't buy as much stuff. And so this is a slide from Oregon that shows from the 1930s, with the amount of dollars they had set aside for gasoline and so forth, the revenues they had, the buying power of that is really dropping down, and that's happening here in West Virginia too. So we have a number of things happening, and then we also have these deteriorating bridges. Again, I'm gratified and heartened by the fact that you all built your bridges today, that we have these deteriorating bridges that really need attention. And the longer you wait to work on these, the more expensive they are. So, you know, I say the trend is an unwillingness to provide predictable funding. That is a problem. But it's a reason that you all, if you choose to become transportation engineers, you'll always have a job, because we'll be taking care of those facilities for a long time. So, now, what I will say is consider engineering, and I promise that you will love it. Again, I think you all are already considering it by virtue of the fact of being here today. I grew up in a little tiny town in North Carolina, a little town called West Jefferson that was way back in the hills, and I left there because of lack of opportunity. I was a preacher's kid, so I didn't have anybody in my family who had anything to do with engineering. And I went off to North Carolina State University and majored in civil engineering there. But the reason I did was probably because of this. And does anybody in the room know what that is? Back there. Yeah, it's a merit badge, and that's the engineering merit badge. So I was exposed to some engineering stuff with that Boy Scout merit badge. And what I'll say, the reason I'm bringing that up here is these type of events that you've had today are the things that you'll look back 15 years on, and you'll think to yourself, gee, I had fun there, I learned a lot of stuff, but it really made a difference, and it helped me to make a decision about how I'm going to spend my life. Now, I mentioned that you'll really enjoy engineering. You'll get a chance to do a lot of interesting things. If you want to, you can go and see the country. You can go and see the world. There's a lot of good stuff out there. What I like about engineering, particularly civil engineering, the type of work that Rahall and Jennifer and I do, is you're really helping people. Transportation touches every part of our lives. And so what you're able to do is do something that's interesting, and you really do help people along the way. So these type of events like you've been at today, what I will say to you is have fun, enjoy them, but realize they will make a difference in your life as you look back. I really had to throw this in. This shows that I've been doing this sort of stuff for a long time. This was when I worked in Pennsylvania. This is my little 6-year-old son, who is sitting right here, who is now an engineer. And I'm sure this event in itself didn't make him become an engineer, but these are the sort of things that he grew up in our family, participated in these things. This says the Pennsylvania Division Office celebrated Take Your Child to Work Day with activities that included Engineer Tom, leading the children in the construction of bridges using popsicle sticks and hot glue guns. So that was a little more dangerous than what you all had today. But again, I think the point I want to make is just how important it is, as you enjoy the success you've had today, to realize that over time that will probably will help to shape what your life becomes. So with that, I'm going to end and say we need you. We need you in transportation. There'll always be good jobs there. There'll be fulfilling jobs for you. And so I will encourage you, as you think about decisions over the next 5 or 6 years, to choose engineering, but choose transportation too. Last slide. Congratulations again. I'll end with where I started. Congratulations to all of you for the day you've had and for the success we've had with our winners. So with that, thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Smith. So we'll keep that in mind. You have popsicle stick and hot glue gun experience next year when we're looking for volunteers to do the classroom visits.
No hot glue.
Notice we didn't send out any hot glue for you guys to use on balsa bridges. All right, so next up in the agenda, we're going to go quickly through a few summary things, and then we're going to get into the recognition of sponsors, volunteers, and then on to the awards. So to give you a summary of what the contest looks, everybody started out competing in the qualifying rounds, submitting your designs with the software. So we had a total statewide of 273 teams that registered for the qualifying round. 141 of those teams actually submitted designs, uploaded designs to the website to be evaluated, and there were a total of 495 design files that were submitted. So somebody in this room, one of our volunteers or workers on this project, pulled up each of those design files, evaluated it to see if it passed the load test, and then recorded the cost of that bridge. So that was kind of a manual process that we had to introduce this year because of the lack of that national contest. So out of those 141 teams, we chose the top teams based on the minimum cost, and we ended up with 19 high school teams and 11 middle school teams that were invited, which is all of you out there. So you guys have all seen this list. You know who you are. We went through the introductions earlier today, but this is a list of the team names, which you're going to see again a little bit later. So Jennifer already had Anakin stand up, but in terms of, I've already mentioned that there were some of you that have been here before and were here last year or competed in this contest before. So real quickly, we'll do a recognition of alumni. So please stand up if you have ever competed in a West Virginia Bridge Design Contest prior to this year. So 2016 or earlier. Okay? So if you have ever competed in a, wait, what's the difference here? A previous year. Okay, we'll skip that one. And if you've ever won the West Virginia contest, so if you have been a previous winner either in balsa bridge design, balsa testing, or the bridge design. Okay, so we have some previous winners here, so let's hear everybody. We're not planning on instituting any rules that if you win, you can't come back the next year. We're not going to go that route like the national did. All right, you guys can sit down. Thank you. All right, recognition of sponsors. Again, West Virginia DOT has been supporting this contest for 16 years. They're the primary sponsor of this contest. They provide most of the financial support. The engineering faculty that you've interacted with today, we're all here on a volunteer basis, so we donate our time to this contest to make it a success. Bridgewalk, as Casey mentioned, they donated the free tours, and then the Mid-Atlantic Transportation Sustainability Center, University Transportation Center, that's a regional group of universities where we get funding from the Federal Highway Administration, US DOT, and so some of that money has gone to support this contest as well. So, but we definitely couldn't be here without the Division of Highways and their dedication to this contest, so we're anxious for that relationship to continue. So, a lot of volunteer time went into this. The judges that were here today were here from 7 o'clock this morning all the way until now. Some of them have already taken off. Some of them were very busy earlier in the week. So if we could have all the judges and volunteers that are still here to please stand to be recognized. Casey, they're going to pass out a goodie bag for you. So I think a few of you are still up here. 3 of you. I had a hard time getting the students to stick around. And then these. So there were quite a few of them.
Did I get more than one, man?
Sure. So yeah, the judges who left, they surrender their gift to you. But I definitely appreciate them, especially the head judges, Professor Huffman and Dr. Michelson, and their time and effort and making sure that their events run smoothly. Makes my job a lot easier tallying the scores. All right. Next, we have recognition and awards, and I'm going to hand this over to Rylan and Jennifer to go through these next few.
Okay, the first volunteer that we want to recognize for the volunteer is actually for Casey to come to the front of the stage, please. Come on over. Casey, on behalf of the West Virginia Bridge Design and Build Committee, I'm honored and privileged to present you with this book entitled Bridge Building in West Virginia.
This committee could not have functioned as well as it did without Casey and Andrew. They were absolutely a joy to work with. Casey, as you all know, you teachers and students, you got tons of emails from her. You sent every little tiny question to her. She answered within a day. If you sent her anything, she answered right away. So we just wanted to say, and we made her a little card. From all of us at the West Virginia Bridge Design and Build Contest Committee, you've been an absolute joy to work with, tending to every little detail with passion and enthusiasm that the students deserved, and working wonderfully with teachers, principals, parents, volunteers, and with us. You have advanced this contest in a way that will be remembered as the contest continues to grow.
For the Volunteer of the Year Award, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Volunteer of the Year. A lot of folks have spoke about Jimmy Riston, the passion at Highways for the West Virginia Bridge Design and Build Contest. Well, knowing Jimmy and our good connections, he calls me up one day and he says, "Rahall," he said, "I need some volunteers." Well, the folks in the program, and I think Tom will verify, we are few in number, and so the people that we have, we exercise as best we can. So anyway, I still felt compelled to be sure that he had volunteers on the ground from the Division of Highways to go out and do site visits at the request of the various teachers from the middle and high schools that actually requested the visit. So anyway, this year's Volunteer of the Year Award goes to Mr. Ben Schaefer, our Regional Program Manager for Districts 5 and 8. Ben was a man on the job at any time. There would be times that I would ask him to go and show up in Pocahontas County one day, Berkeley County the next day, and as long as he was available and as long as he wasn't out doing something else, he was there. And so it's people like that that inspire the contest, so that people like yourselves can enjoy the contest and participate. So anyway, Volunteer of the Year Award goes to Ben Schaefer. Let's give him a hand. Okay, the Outstanding Teachers of the Year.
And Casey has these. Our teachers are absolutely vital in this contest. So we have teachers who come back year after year, bringing us tons of wonderful young minds to work with, and we truly couldn't do this without them. So Casey has 3 outstanding teachers she wants to recognize.
Are we live? Okay. And please don't let me butcher your name, and I'm sorry if I do. Is Miss Margie Politz? Politz. Did you make it this evening?
He had to leave earlier.
Oh. Okay, well, you will have to let her know if you speak with her. She was absolutely amazing. We had some issues with team registration and some documents coming through, and she was calling me, stopping in the middle of class for a quick, "Yeah, we got it," and making sure she sent in all of her students' registration forms, even though they had sent them in. They sent in RSVP forms, she sent them in. She did an amazing job. This was the first year we had worked with her, and she just did a wonderful job and very supportive of her students. So we most certainly have something we want to get to her. The other teacher, do you want to speak to?
Miss Barbara McElwain. When we went to her class as volunteers, Jimmy and I went, and for one, we usually go over this little thing where we go, step by step and teach the students how to do the program. Well, when we showed up in her class, they already had bridges on their screens, and all we had to do was give them tips. So that for one. And additionally, when we showed up in her class, the news was there. So she helped our contest get some additional, get the word out. And getting the word out is one of the hardest things, so we really appreciate that, Ms. McElwain.
And last but not least, one more. Miss McElwain, I think she had to leave, right?
She's
She's here.
She's here.
Oh, and she's taking her daughter to the prom, later.
She's been doing hair, she's been getting beautified for the prom. Please come up and have a gift for you.
On behalf of the West Virginia Bridge Design and Build Contest, congratulations.
Thank you so much. As you know, teachers are truly the backbone of this contest. And when they support the contest, they encourage students in the classroom, they help them. I know a couple of teachers who hold after-school sessions if you'd like some extra help with bridge design software. So the extra effort is definitely doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you. Last but not least, again, another newcomer, I think, to the contest in general, another new school. This teacher, Mr. Jonathan Perkins, way in the back, he started calling me about a month or so into the contest when we really started getting things going and saying that he was the teacher at, don't let me butcher it, Mountain Ridge, correct? Okay, at Mountain Ridge, and he said he had a class of talented and gifted students, correct? That he wanted to bring on board to the contest. He saw value in it, and he wanted them to be a part of that. We too had a lot of back and forth conversation, getting a speaker to his classroom, making sure he was equipped with things. So much communication back and forth. I could tell he was so vested into this program. So much so that we, of course, invite teachers to come. So if you join this again next year, and we know that you will, invite your teacher to come. We would love to have them here. So we actually invited the teachers that we could reach out to ourselves. Mr. Perkins actually reached out to me and said, our school sees such value in this contest, they've asked me to join my team and I'd like to come. So with that being said, Mr. Perkins, will you come up and let us know?
On behalf of the West Virginia Bridge Design and Build Contest, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Perkins.
Our Teacher of the Year award this year goes to a teacher who helped us on so many levels. One of them was the most basic and kind of the most obvious. Everybody knows who the teacher's boss is, right? Principal. Somehow we've been doing this for 16 years and we didn't quite get that. How do we reach teachers, we were saying? What do we do? How do we get into the classroom? We've been saying this. And this teacher said, reaching through the principals. That's their boss. Have the principal send the email. And we were like, okay. So the other another really awesome idea that this particular teacher had was our traveling trophies. These trophies are going to go to, one is going to be for the principal, one's going to be for the classroom, and one's going to be in Tom Smith's office for year after year, and they're going to have plaques, and it's going to go around, and so you'll have bragging rights. Your whole school will see that you came here and you won this for your whole school. Another thing this teacher does is he has an after-school class. St. Albans students, only just St. Albans students, will you guys come up? Just stand here for a moment. These guys meet every Wednesday after school and work on bridge designs. So without further ado, let's have a drum roll if we can't figure out who the Teacher of the Year is, but let's have a drum roll. Alex Riston.
You can't tell they got inspired by something with my second last name.
On behalf of the West Virginia Division of Highways, thank you, Alex.
and the West Virginia Bridge Design and Build Contest.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
This is a first-year teacher, by the way, guys. The next group that we really want to recognize, all of our parents. First of all, how many of our parents drove here this morning? How many of you drove more than 2 hours this morning? And that's really early because we started our registration at 8. And we know before you drive, you have to get up and get everybody else awake and make sure your pets have food and all that. So that's a lot of dedication, and we really appreciate the work of the parents. Your students appreciate you too. We looked at a calendar, and tomorrow's Mother's Day. So not only, you're here Mother's Day weekend, spending your Mother's Day weekend with our contest. So we want to recognize all of the mothers and grandmothers and aunts and teachers. And we're going to have a student coming around here shortly with flowers for all of you ladies. Just, you know, Casey said they're going to be probably more fully open tomorrow for Mother's Day. So just a token to let you know we appreciate you. Students, now's the time to give your mothers the biggest round of applause you've ever given them. Thank you, moms and grandmas and aunts and teachers and dads and grandpas and uncles and everybody who's here with your students.
Okay, so on the same trend of everyone getting up nice and super early, our next awards are going out to some parents. You thought you were driving all this way and getting nothing? You sat all day, you were supportive. Okay, so the first one here, I'm just going to say the first group because some people came today and you may or may not be family, but the first group that we recognized, this group came together. I think they all are part of one family. I saw them in the hallway all day. They're going back and forth to activities. They're getting involved in everything. And they come up when I'm walking down the hall and they say, you know what? Our daughter's here too, and she's younger, and we hope that soon she'll get involved in the contest. So, while I don't know said guest's name or parent's name, it goes to the parents or guardians of the 7 salamanders. It's a Sheetz gas card for driving all this way. And on behalf of the West Virginia DOH, a nice hard hat and some work gloves just in case. Okay. This parent, I say parents, but again, group, they stayed here all day. They found one little place that they just kind of copped a squat all day. It was kind of toward the end of the contest, and you thought that they would look tired and weary. No, they took their kids' cards and started playing a card game at the end of the day, man, and they were getting into it too. They looked like they were having just as good a time as the participants, and it goes to the family of the Turtle Squad 3.0. last but not least, the parent of this team was in constant contact with me throughout the contest. Hey, Casey, how we doing? Casey, we got a problem with our bridge. But they were diligent in their communication, and even today, very complimentary of the contest, not while they were receiving an award, but because they were so involved as a parent throughout the entire contest. And I think they even said, I filled out that registration form. It is the parent of Pro Bridges. Mark? And Mark, we have for you, W Tech left another hard hat and said they'd like for one of their parents to have it, so that's yours. You're welcome. Sibling award.
Absolutely. Another group that got up just as early as everybody else, almost as early as the parents and just as early as the participants. Our little siblings, siblings of the contestants, children of some of the teachers who were here. Because some of our contestants are former children of teachers who came for the contest for that reason. Anyone grade school who spent your whole day here, come up on the stage. These are our contestants for future years' contests. Miss Bailey, Mr. Emmett, anybody else?
Today. Okay, I guess that's me. A couple of fun awards. Aren't they all fun? I mean, most of them have cash in them, so they're definitely fun. And I'm going to butcher it, so I'm going to ask for some help. I'm just going to call you S cubed. Where are you? You should know who you are. Team name S cubed. It's very long.
SSS.
Okay. We figured you spent so much time coming up with that name, you might need something to fidget with. So here's a couple fidget cubes. Do you want to tell them your team name?
Shank Shining Shoutouts.
The longest name we had all year. Even Dr. Nichols said he had to keep changing his spreadsheet to accommodate their name every time we had to make a new spreadsheet. There were a couple of guys, I think that maybe they're in the back. I'm sorry, but I don't recall your team name. I'm looking at you and I'm drawing a blank. But you're wearing sunglasses from last year? Blue shirts. Will you guys come up? Every time I saw these kids walking around the hall today, up and down the corridors, they were smiling, they've worn their sunglasses all day, they've been in the whole gaming spirit, and just looked like they were having a good time. Even when they had their sunglasses down and they looked like cool cats, they still looked like they were having a good time. Come on up, guys. Tell everyone your name, your team name. What's your team name?
Snowstorm 04.
And tell us what your school.
Edison.
What is your name?
Wyatt Napier.
Wyatt Napier and
Hayden Cow.
guys, thanks for being such good spirits today. Bree has some gifts for you. Okay, Ryland, I think you have it on the dot. WV on the dot.
Yes, the WV on the dot award goes to a preserving team that had to dig in with the sense of urgency and to actually dig in when it counted the most. Now, this year we asked that all finalists had to have a balsa bridge. Well, most folks came with the balsa bridge, but some folks either had to alter either alter their balsa bridge or repair their balsa bridge. So, again, the West Virginia On the Dot Award this year goes to Tim Sensational. On behalf of the West Virginia Division of Highways and the West Virginia Bridge Design and Build Contest, congratulations.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, we're going to do our best to go quickly here and try and catch us up. This one, I do have a little bit of something to read. We also give out an award called RTI in Your Eye. RT in your eye? It is RT in your eye. So a couple of folks here work for the RahallTransportation Institute, and somewhere along the way we named this Fun and Diligent Award after someone who we just thought stood out in the contest. This particular individual, we are told, with the scavenger hunt, the rainbow gravel, remember that? The Skittles? We tried not to eat them at registration today. It was difficult. We are told that this individual was so diligent about this scavenger hunt that she weighed the jar, determined the weight of the empty jar, Googled the weight of an individual Skittle, and did all the calculations to determine her guess for the rainbow rocks. Does anyone want to own up to that? Anyone? Maybe it was Heather Hicks of Phoenix. You should own up to that one. We did not get to eat them today. You did.
On behalf of the RahallTransportation Institute, the Division of Highways, and the West Virginia Bridge Design and Build Contest, here is your Rainbow Skittles and your RTI in your eye awards. Thank you.
Okay, I think we're turning things over to Dr. Nichols.
Okay, so how many people did the engineering scavenger hunt? I know there were more pages than that turned in, so I had to go through and grade them all. So each question was graded out of 10 points, and if you're curious as to what the answers were, these are the answers here. I will point out that the strong wall, Dr. Zatar actually designed that strong wall. He designed everything that's in the lab that you were in today. And he probably didn't remember that the volume of concrete in that wall was 2,736 cubic feet. Or did you?
No, I did not.
So we had some people get pretty close to that. The other one, yeah, so there were 876 pieces of rainbow gravel in the jar. So I don't know what you got when you weighed it out. Do you remember what your answer was? Were you close to 876? You remember?
808.
808. So you were pretty close. So that was. I'm sure the weight of the jar you looked up is what threw it off. I'm sure Google didn't get the weight of the jar right, so it wasn't any problem with your calculations. So the actual winner of the scavenger hunt, this duo had 55 points out of the 70 that was possible. They got quite a few of them correct, and the winner of the scavenger hunt was Grayson Phelps and Zach Lowe. We did have a team of parents that came in a close second, but the students beat them out. Nice job.
They would just split the award.
Yep. So they got one award, they split. Next up, so we did have some people go up to the Minecraft lab. I didn't make it up there in time to capture all the images, and I'm hoping I got the people's names right that built these. So this was just a for fun thing. So we had a specific Minecraft world and asked them to build a bridge. So I think, is this Grayson, sir? Grayson, is this yours? Yeah. Okay. So this was his bridge, which he even put the road and had the lanes. I'm not really sure
how thick that steel or concrete would have to be, since it doesn't have much of a support structure. But it at least looks like a bridge of some sort, so that was pretty good. Looks like, Zach, you started out, if this was yours, started out maybe replicating the Golden Gate Bridge, and it got dark, and I'm not a Minecraft expert, so I didn't know the command to make the sunlight come out. So I had to take some of these in the dark, so you can kind of see the start of the bridge going across. Possibly Jeremiah Blackwell, does this look like yours? Jeremiah, you still here? So it was snowing for some reason whenever I took the picture of this bridge. Then we have, I think, Wyatt Napier. Wyatt, want to claim this one? Wyatt's still here? Is this yours? Okay. I'm actually pretty proud of myself that I was able to match these up correctly. So good job on that one. And then I think that was the last one. There were some other ones. I apologize if yours didn't make it in here. I got lost in the Minecraft world when I was going around trying to find the bridge of the other ones that were completed. So I apologize if yours didn't make it up here. Next for fun activity that we had was the concrete bowling. So we did have our 4 finalists. And if you're wondering how your score compared to the finalists, again, the max in the qualifying round was 45 points. We had top 4, 32, 27, 24, and 23 points. And I wasn't at the bowl-off, but I heard a fun time was had by all. And Mark Rodolini, father of one of the participants, actually won with a score of 9 in the final round. So please come forward and get your prize. So our number 1 objective with this contest was no broken toes, no bowling balls falling on toes, and I didn't hear of any injuries, so hopefully that was the case. All right, so at this time, when we get into the actual awards, I'd ask Secretary Smith and Dean Sitar if you guys want to come up and help hand out the awards. So the prizes for these events are all monetary prizes, so the envelopes contain gift cards with your amounts. You don't actually get to take those trophies home. Those are the traveling trophies, which I'll explain here in a few minutes. So we're going to do the middle school awards first in this order. So I'm going to do the most aesthetic balsa bridge, followed by 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place in the balsa build portion, and then 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place in the design. And then the other teams will call forward to get their finalists their award for making it to the finals. So no one walks away empty-handed. So first up, for middle school, the most aesthetic balsa bridge goes to Puppy Duck, Alina Makoviak. So this was the before picture of her bridge. I didn't take an after picture. But I was in there when it snapped. It was a fantastic failure. So next up, we have 3rd place in the balsa. 3rd place goes to Turtle Squad 3.0. So as a reminder, the placing is based on the weight of sand that their bridge held divided by the weight of the bridge. So the higher that ratio, the higher their score. So they were the 3rd highest strength to weight ratio. Second place, middle school, goes to WV Beasts, Nathan Calvert and Evan Rose, also. And first place goes to Puppy Duck, Alina Makoviak. So we have, for the first time this year, as Jennifer had mentioned, we are introducing the traveling trophies. So as the winner of the Balsa, St. Francis de Sales will be receiving 2 trophies, one for the principal's office and one for her teacher's office, and it will be engraved with the her name as well as Benji Simpson. So unfortunately Benji left, so the proprietor of Bridgewalk, we decided to name this trophy in his honor. So those will be getting delivered by someone, one of the volunteers from the Division of Highways here in a week or so. So, Elena, look for a photo op and make sure you let them know that it's coming, so they let you know so you can come be in the photo. We don't really care what the teacher and the principal look like. We just want to make sure that you're in that photo. So, to give you an idea of what those top 3 teams' strength to weight ratios were, so third place, they were at 408. Second place was at 500. And first place was at 784. And I will point out that the highest strength to weight ratio in the high school division was in the 400s. So both the first place and second place in the middle school division built a better bridge than anybody in the high school division. So her bridge held a load of a little over 32 pounds of sand. So good job. All right, so now on to the middle school design. So third place on middle school design is WV Beasts, Nathan Calvert and Evan Rose from Edison Middle School. Second place, middle school design, R&B. Rachel Hanna and Bella Sadler from St. Francis de Sales. First place, middle school bridge design, goes to Turtle Squad 3.0. Justin Dargo and Hunter Hall, St. Francis de Sales. So similar to the Balsa, Jimmy Riston, we named this traveling trophy after Jimmy Riston. Do I consider the grandfather of this contest in West Virginia? Or father? Don't tell him I called him old. But he's been involved in this contest for 16 years. And so I guess we'll have 4 trophies traveling to St. Francis de Sales. 2 for Balsa and 2 for bridge. So to give you an idea on the bridge costs, again, this year, the first round, we turned into an endurance round. So you can see, actually, the third place team ended up with the lowest cost there, but then in the speed round, first place team caught up with them, so the results were kind of flipped, and we ended up with an overall total cost being the lowest for Turtle Squad. Everybody seen enough of that? Everybody studying? I'm going to give you a chance to look at it. All right, so now moving on to the high school division. Oh, no, sorry. Before we do that, we're going to recognize the rest of the finalists in the middle school. So as we call you, you can go ahead and come up and get your participant award for making it to the finals for the bridge design and for the Balsa. So first we have Garrett Ferguson, 7 Salamanders. From Franklin Middle School. Next we have Calamus, Maximus Yang, and Kalya Yang.
Pro Bridges, Dominic Rotolini and Samuel Peck from St. Francis de Sales.
Yeah, you get all of that. And you get this one.
If you don't want it, we'll take it back. Snowstorm 04, Katie Cole and Wyatt Baker. From St. Francis de Sales. So is there anybody left back in St. Francis de Sales, or everybody come late?
Everyone came
Tim Sensational, Charity Lundberg and Lily Harrison from Mountain Ridge Middle School. There were quite a few times we tried to spell correct this for you, but I was reassured that that's the way you wanted it spelled.
Come back. Turn around for a picture.
Next we have the Portals, Jeremiah Blackwell and Aiden Yost from Edison Middle School. And last, with the middle school, we have Zaxon, Grayson Phelps, and Zach Lowe from Mountain Ridge Middle School. Now we get to the high school awards. So same awards, different division. So first up, we have the most aesthetic balsa bridge for the high school division, and that goes to Bridges R Us. Are they here? So I guess we'll give it to the second place aesthetic. Did they go to the bathroom in this building, or? Give them a 15-second. They must not have been too confident in their performance. Go to the bathroom in the middle of the award ceremony. Do you want to know what you won? We did it. This was the award for the bridge that broke first. Make sure your pants are buttoned. So they are Tanner Ekstrom and Levi Olberg-Bogus from St. Albans High School. So, high school build, third place is the same team, so don't go all the way back, or don't go to the bathroom. So they were third place. They not only had the best looking bridge, but they had the third highest strength to weight ratio. I guess we don't need to take another picture. It'll look the same. You can't tell the difference in the cards.
second place high school build goes to Duckman Destroyer. Taylor Smith and Green Lady from St. Albans High School. And first place in the Balsa build and testing goes to V Supreme, Andrew Turner, Greenbrier High School. So Andrew had to leave early,
But it's probably going to be 10 o'clock before we get to prom tonight.
but his outstanding teacher is going to come accept the award on his behalf. That's true.
Oh,
Yes.
well, we'll take pictures and put that in the paper. Thank you. That sounds fabulous. I'll let my principal know.
So moving on to, so here are the strength to weight ratios for the top 3 teams in the high school division. Again, high schoolers, you need to step up your game, catch up with the middle schoolers. So the highest one carried 21 pounds in the high school division. High school design, third place goes to V Supreme, Andrew Turner, Greenbrier East High School. Are you sure you went to prom, or did you go off to start designing and building bridges somewhere? He's so good at it. Second place in the high school division. Bridges Are Us. Peter Extra and Levi Olberg Bogus, St. Albans High School. Their third appearance in the podium. And last, well, it's not completely last, but last in terms of first place for the high school design goes to We Still Got It. Nikki Zingawadia and Alyssa Christensen from Woodrow Wilson High School. They're familiar with the podium. So they will also be getting their traveling trophy. And these are the ranks for the top 3. So you can see that second place team actually edged them out in the endurance round, but then the speed round, We Still Got It edged them out, and then the overall cost, they ended up finishing first. So now we'll recognize the other high school teams that were here as finalists with their gift cards. 2v2 us, or 2v2 US. Kayla Gibson and Brandon Wilfong from Pocahontas County. They already leave. I think they already left. So I will take those gift cards. Bob the Builder, Courtney Keller, and Amanda Lane from St. Albans High School. Builders Hut, Luke Van Blaricom from Pikeview High School. Luke's still here. Double Troubles Back, Roxy Morris and Kaylee Nichols from Summers County High School. Ed Ray, Mark Jordan from Pocahontas County High School. Eight River
members, Wolfpack, Brady Jones and Jacob Heiss from Pocahontas County High School. You can give it to him and then email him and let him know that he has it. He can hunt it down. Imagineer, Summer McElwain from Greenbrier East High School. Nice Dynamite, Emily McElwain and Kat Ziegler from Greenbrier East High School. Team Phoenix, Heather Hicks from St. Albans High School.
She's getting it down to the right number.
Shank Shining Shoutouts, Lauren Pack and Lexi Gurns Way from Summers County High School. Also known as SQ. Skymax, Thomas Tincher from Sherman High School. Steel Wraith, George Hess from St. Albans High School. Unicorn Wizard, Lindsay Jarvis from St. Albans High School. So the last thing was mentioned that there is now going to be a plaque that will reside in Secretary of Transportation Tom Smith's office. So this will be donned with the names of the winners from this year, and then we will add these each year. Once we get this engraved, we will have this delivered to your office. But this was something that he's very proud and happy to display. So if you're ever in the area, maybe stop by and get your picture made with the plaque that holds your name. Additional closing remarks. So if you want the remains, if you haven't picked up the remains of your balsa bridge and you want those, you can stop by and pick them up. Make sure you complete the surveys on your table. You can just leave them there and we will pick them up at the end. We would like for the first through third place teams to come to the front for a group picture. That's first through third for middle school and for high school to get a group picture. And yeah, for both design and for build. And if you want to know your final design costs or any of the final tallies, you can send me an email. This is my email address. I have all the results, and I can make those available if you want to if you're curious to see how you ended up compared to the top three amounts that we went through here a few minutes ago. And finally, everybody drive home safely, and hope to see you next year.